Hello everyone. I hope you all are enjoying and spending your quality time with your family members. I'm happy to see the response, what you are showing on the videos. Good number of students are watching it. Today we are going to start the topic which we started in the previous class, that is the factor affecting the climate of India. In the previous class, we have studied the Himalayas, about the monsoon wind, and latitudes. How these factors are deciding the climate of India. Okay, so today we have to start the varied relief. So today we'll start the fourth factor which is deciding the climate of India, that is the varied relief. As we know that reliefs play an important role in the climatic condition of India, right? So before that, we will just see first, okay, what is relief rainfall? This is the diagram which is showing the relief rainfall. As we know that relief rainfall is also known as orographic rainfall, and it occurs from the cooling of the warm air. Clear? The moist air, the cooling of the warm moist air which ascend above the mountain with the slope. It used to ascend, and after that, as we go up, the temperature comes down. So these moist air used to condense, makes the clouds, and gives the rain. And why it happened? Because these mountain barriers lies in the direction of the prevailing wind. Now on the other side, that is the leeward side or rain shadow area, it decrease in altitude. At decrease in altitude, with the slope start descending. The reason is the wind is here cool. Cool wind used to be heavy, so they start descending with the slope. Clear? And altitude, and increases both pressure and temperature, and leading the air to be get compressed and warm, and consequently the relative humidity drops, and there is evaporation and little or no precipitation in the rain shadow area. In India, there are only few relief which decides the climate or plays very important role in the climate of India. The first one is Western Ghats. Clear? The Western Ghat, at the western sides of the Western Ghats gets heavy rainfall. Why? Because this Western Ghats stand in the way of southwest monsoon wind. Clear? And this monsoon wind is coming from Arabian Sea. On the other hand, if you see this Deccan Plateau, which is the center of India, it lies at the leeward side or rain shadow area of Western Ghats, and that's the reason Deccan Plateau receives very less rain. Next important relief is in Rajasthan. Clear? And it is Aravalli ranges, right? In Rajasthan, the Aravalli ranges is parallel to southwest monsoon. They are unable to block the southwest monsoon, and that's the reason they are unable to give enough rain to Rajasthan. Now the third relief feature is the southern hills of Assam. Clear? And here you can see Garo, Hasi, Jaintia. These are the southern hills of Assam. Its southern part, they used to get a huge amount of rainfall, but at the northern side they used to get less. Why? Because these hills also is on the way in the way of southwest monsoon, and northern part of it is a rain shadow area, and that's the reason they are getting less rain. But here they used to get heavy rain. Cherrapunji, Mahesram, and all falls at the southern side of the southern hills of Assam. Clear? So In this way, these are the hills or these are the relief which is deciding the climate of these regions. Now, the fifth factor is altitude. As we know that mountains are cooler than the plain. Why? Because there is a decrease of 1 degree centigrade for every 166 meter height. Clear? Because temperature decreases as we move to the higher altitude. And that's the reason Ooty, Shimla, Kashmir are cooler than the plain area. The next one is the influence of the surrounding sea. This is the sixth factor which is deciding the climate of India. As we know that India is surrounded by the three water bodies, the Indian Ocean, Bay of Bengal and Arabian Sea. And this water body is able to observe huge amount of heat and maintain the temperature in the coastal area. And second is these water body act as the major source. As we know, the southwest monsoon wind comes from Arabian Sea, and they are able to provide huge amount of moisture to the summer monsoon. And that's the reason they are able to bring heavy rainfall to the whole of India. An important point is due to the nearness of the sea, the coastal area enjoy the moderate climate, especially the coastal area enjoy the moderate climate, and that is also due to the land breeze and sea breeze. The seventh point is western disturbances. Next factor which is deciding the climate of India. Western disturbances we are experiencing during the winter. Clear? And there is two words, western and disturbances. Western means this is generally used to be originate in the western side of India. The weather condition during winter are generally influenced by the distribution pattern of the pressure in the central and the West Asia. Clear? And it happens because the apparent movement of the sun. Due to the apparent movement of the sun, the shifting of the pressure belt and the westerlier blow from 20 degree north to 50 degree north latitude and northern India. And when these westerly start moving, right, and it brings a cyclone. And these cyclone rising from Mediterranean Sea, very important it is. It rises from Mediterranean Sea, right, and brings a rainfall to the plain, northern plain, and snowfall to the hilly area of India. The western disturbances is also called as a temperate cyclone because it used to originate in a temperate zone. And next, very important, these temperate cyclone used to bring a mild rain and which is very good for the wheat cultivation. Now the eighth factor which is deciding the climate, that is jet stream. Actually, jet stream is a air currents which determine arrival and the departure of monsoon. Clear? These warm air current can be divided into two: mid-latitude jet streams and subtropical jet stream. They are moving air, and they have a separate speed during the summer and during the winter. Clear? These in the upper layer of the atmosphere. The westerly jet stream prevails over the North Indian plain during the winter month, while the easterly jet stream streaks the tropical depression over India. These depression plays a very important, significant role in the distribution pattern of the monsoon relief in the subcontinent. The highest rainfall occurs along the track of these distribution. So, arrival and the departure of monsoon totally depends upon the jet stream. Now the ninth factor, that is a distance from the sea. Area in the interiors of India. What do you mean by interior? It means away from the oceans or sea. Clear? The interior of India have extreme type of climate, or we can call it continental type of climate, where if you and what is extreme climate or continental type of climate? It means in the summer the temperature will be too high, around 40, 43, 45, and in winter temperature will be very low, means temperature will be 1, 2, 3. Clear? Right? So in this is known as a extreme weather condition or continental type of climate. But if you talk about the coastal area, this whole coastal area used to have a equable or maritime climate. Why it is so? Because the effect of land breeze and sea breeze, right? Land breeze and sea breeze caused by the differential rate of heating and cooling of land and sea, responsible for moderate climate in coastal area. Now we will see what is land breeze and what is sea breeze. During the day, land gets heated faster than the adjoining sea because land is made up of rocks and rocks are bad conductors, so only upper layer used to get warm. And due to the excess heat, it creates low pressure zone on the land and high pressure zone over the sea, because the water is good conductor of heat, and it takes the heat to warm whole water, so it takes time to get warm. So there will be high pressure zone above the ocean, and we know thus the wind blow from sea to land, and which is called as a sea breeze. At night, it is just reverse this happen, and wind blow from land to sea. Clear? Because by night the whole water used to be warmer, and above this there will be low pressure. Land used to cool faster, so they develop high pressure on the land. So movement of wind will be from high pressure to low pressure, which is called as a land breeze. So these land breeze and the sea breeze brings moderate climate in the coastal area. As we move away from the sea, the influence of the moderate climate start disappearing, and we start experiencing the extreme climate. But we can see in peninsula, that is in Deccan Plateau, the Western Ghats prevent the wind from carrying such benefits for inwards, and that's the reason the peninsula is not able to enjoy that moderate climbing or climate, that is the influence of land breeze and sea breeze, because Western Ghats is not allowing them to influence. Therefore, the moderating influence of the sea is limited to the coastal area. Now, the last factor which is deciding the climate of India, that is the El Nino effect. Actually, El Nino is a warm ocean current which sometime appears off the coast of Peru in South America during the month of December. These warm currents flows every 2 to 5 years in the place of the cold Peruvian current, and it increases the temperature, surface temperature of the sea, and affect the movement of the wind in the Indian Ocean and causes weak drought like situation in the Indian subcontinent. Before concluding the class, just we will see what all things we have studied today. Today we have studied the varied relief, the Western Ghats, the Aravalli Ranges, the southern hills of Assam, how they are deciding the climate of those regions. We have studied leeward side and windward side. After that, we have studied the altitude. In that, we have studied the decrease of 1 degree centigrade for every 166-meter rise in height. That was the key line in that topic. As we studied, the India is surrounded by the three water bodies, namely Indian Ocean, Arabian Sea, and the Bay of Bengal. Clear, the water absorbs huge amount of heat and making the temperature moderate. Second thing, Arabian Sea providing huge amount of moisture to the southwest monsoon wind. Clear. Then, due to the nearness of the sea, the area used to enjoy moderate climate because of land breeze and sea breeze. These things we have studied in the sixth point. After that, we have studied about the western disturbances is a temperate cyclone and brings rain to the northern plain and snowfall in the hilly region, which used to generate from the Mediterranean Sea. Clear, and it is good for the agriculture, Indian agriculture, and is good for the wheat cultivation. After that, we have studied about the warm current, that is jet stream, which is deciding the arrival and the departure of the monsoon wind. After that, we have studied about the distance from the sea. If we are As we move away from the ocean, we used to experience continental type of climate, and if we are closer, then we enjoy the moderate type of climate, and that is only and only due to the land breeze and the sea breeze. Clear. After that, we have studied about the El Nino effect. El Nino effect is a warm ocean current. Generally it used to be originate in the coast of Peru, and it increases the temperature of the surface and affecting the monsoon wind. Clear. Affecting the monsoon wind. So in that way, these all things we have prepared today. Clear. So it is enough for today's. It is important. Prepare, read again and again the part which I am going to give you, the click photo of each and every pages. Read it carefully. And again, I am telling you, this is important because number of concept based question used to come from this part. Okay. All the best. Take care.